Well, rescue teams in the devastated Lebanese capital Beirut are searching for survivors in the rubble left by yesterday's deadly blast. 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate improperly stored in the city's port ignited just over 24 hours ago. At least 100 people were killed, and that death toll is expected to rise. The public is demanding answers. The government has put several port officials under house arrest pending an investigation into the blast. But for now, the city is in crisis, with hundreds of thousands left homeless and emergency supplies running low. Jeremy East reports.
10 Lebanese firefighters went to tackle the original blaze at Beirut's port and then disappeared when the massive explosion occurred. 3 days of mourning have started in the country, which was already dealing with political and economic crisis. Little remains of Beirut's port, and authorities say there's a long road to recovery ahead.
It looks like Hiroshima or Nagasaki in Japan. This is what this reminds me of. I've never seen this amount of destruction in its depth and breadth. This is a national catastrophe. This is a disaster for Lebanon. We don't know how we're going to get out of it. We don't know. We could barely survive before the explosion, and now we have this disaster. We have to stay strong. We have to hold ourselves together. We have to be brave.
The full extent of the damage caused by the explosion is still unknown, but it's estimated more than 200,000 people have been left homeless. Silos containing 85% of the country's grain have been completely destroyed. Warehouses filled with medical supplies have disappeared. 4 hospitals have been destroyed or severely damaged. Those that are still operating have been overwhelmed with casualties and other people searching for their loved ones. The financial toll of the damage is expected to exceed $3 billion, but the human cost is still unknown, as officials expect the death toll will continue to rise. Jeremy East, Euronews.
Well, let's cross now to Beirut for the very latest on those recovery efforts. And Carol Malouf-Khattab joins me there. Hello there to you, Carol. Now, given the massive scale of devastation in Beirut, are authorities now even able to understand the full extent of the damage and death in the city?
Well, we are, Isabel, here at the eastern entrance of Beirut, where hundreds are flocking in from all over the country in an aid and relief effort. This is happening due to the lack of coordination between government institutions to provide that support to those in distress. So people are coming voluntarily as non-governmental organizations, groupings, young, old. They're setting up tents in the city in different devastated areas. They're setting up volunteering tents. They're distributing water and food to the volunteers who are helping in picking up the debris. I've seen young students, university students, school students trying to help, each carrying, a mob and a stick and trying to pick up the rubble from the ground. I have not, unfortunately, seen any government effort on the ground to help the people. It's been a day of national solidarity between the Lebanese from all over the country, and they're still flocking in behind me in the hundreds to the capital.
OK, a day of solidarity, but I know, Carol, that you were at a protest earlier, and it seems amid the despair, this need to help, also anger in the city. Now, what were the protesters there telling you?
Absolutely. They were angry because of the lack of government help. There is no plan. I mean, the government came out yesterday with a 10-point plan in order to help the people, but there are no efforts on the ground. There's just the military controlling the exits and keeping the security. Otherwise, there are no government institutions operation on the ground. It's been efforts by citizens helping other citizens. And this is creating this anger among the people that the government has been absent before the blast. They are blaming the government for negligence, and now they are angry at the government for not doing enough for those in distress.
Absolutely, and it's incredible what you're telling us there, because the timing of this is absolutely terrible as well, isn't it? Because Lebanon was already in the depths of an economic crisis, a political crisis as well. So how is that hampering those rescue efforts that you're seeing?
Well, we have not seen much solidarity among the politicians. I mean, the same blocs are still grouped under the same, the same alliances. We were hoping to see more solidarity among the politicians to try, to bring some relief to the people. However, on the political level, we still see divisions. We still see, the politicians blaming each other for different, on different political stances, and the people feel that they are left alone and that they have to take things in their own hands.
OK, well, people taking things in their own hands. Well, Carol Malouf Khattab, many thanks there from Beirut.